Alliance President proposes changes. Alliance President Gibson Kincaid has confirmed he will campaign for re-election in October. Addressing the media, President Kincaid also said he wanted to make significant changes to the Alliance Constitution. The role of Alliance President is largely ceremonial. I believe that should change. I have been lobbying to invest the position with executive powers, over and above the Prime Minister and the Assembly. By streamlining our bureaucracy, we can make decisions as efficiently as the other superpowers. I also believe that each presidential incumbent should remain in office for 6 years, instead of a maximum of 2 one-year terms. That will allow time to renegotiate diplomatic relationships and correct past mistakes. Gibson Kincaid was the governor of the Zéance system before assuming the presidency in 3303. He has repeatedly claimed that the alliance is failing to fulfill its true potential. Prime Minister Edmund Mahone responded, "Our constitution has served us well for decades and I see no reason to amend it. Its system of checks and balances exists to prevent any individual from becoming too powerful and destabilizing the alliance. The other presidential candidates will be announced within the next 2 weeks." Computer designers' rivalry escalates. Maddox Hurd, owner of Herculean Machines, has publicly dismissed the efforts of rival company Supertech. Both companies are currently developing new computer designs. Mr. Hurd referred directly to Supertech's forthcoming product, the Talk, while addressing the media. "There's a reason Herculean has never explored the concept of wearable devices. It's a ridiculous idea. I bet $1 million credits that those fragile gizmos will break, or their holograms will start glitching, the moment you turn them on. If you want a reliable piece of tech, you need the Jura drive. Believe me, our device will keep on working whatever you throw at it, and even if you throw it." When invited to comment, Supertech CEO Devorah responded, "It's regrettable that those with a clear vision of the future are often denigrated by individuals of limited imagination. We offer an elegant and revolutionary approach to personal computing, not just a rubber brick with a screen. I'm sure customers will make the intelligent choice." Prototypes for both the Talk and the Jura drive will be unveiled at the Rackham Ultratech Expo on Wednesday the 3rd of October. Thargoid Campaign. The Thargoid worshipping sect that reveres an entity known as the Thargoid has issued a request for Thargoid materials. Chancellor Regan Tanner, speaking on behalf of LHS 2541 Alliance Combined, which is supporting the campaign, released the following statement. "To maintain their privacy and avoid further persecution, members of the Thargoid sect have approached us to facilitate the collection of Thargoid materials. They have made it explicit that these materials will be revered as objects of worship, and will not be used as part of any xenobiological experiments. In the interests of religious freedom, we have decided to fulfill their request. In support of this campaign, LHS..." Eloc Ring in the Zavitra system. The organization has also placed a kill order on all ships on its wanted list, to ensure that those delivering commodities to Wheelock Ring can do so safely. The campaign begins on the 30th of August 3304 and will run for 1 week. If the final target is met earlier than planned, the campaign will end immediately. Conflict in Better Lens. Authorities in the Betel system have confirmed that the conflict between the Silver Creative Network and Betel Free has come to an end. Both factions received support from independent combat pilots, to whom generous rewards were promised, but ultimately there could be only one victor. General Hollis of Betel Security had this to say, "Now this feud has been resolved, we will hopefully see a period of prolonged peace in the system." Pilots who participated in the conflict can now collect their rewards from Amperpolis in the Betel system. Juanita Bishop runs for Congress. Juanita Bishop, a leading campaigner against the Thargoid cult, has announced that she is running for federal Congress. Mrs. Bishop's vocal condemnation of Thargoid worship has gained her a strong following in many federal systems. She is now campaigning to be elected to Congress as an independent candidate. At a rally protesting against the Thargoid sect, Mrs. Bishop addressed the crowd. "I may lack political experience, but I care about protecting decent families from alien-loving deviants. If you elect me to Congress, I will make sure our leaders rid us of the Thargoid spies undermining our great federation." Dr. Jamila Griffin, of the Galactic Interfaith Commune made this response. Juanita Bishop is building her power base on the fear and paranoia that she herself has invoked. As has happened before, an innocent religion is being used as a scapegoat for society's ills. We should be more concerned about the fact that Far God chapters are continuing to vanish without trace. If they are under threat, it is our duty to offer protection. These people are not aliens but citizens with legal rights, despite Bishop's efforts to dehumanize them. Aegis Corps relocates to Seoul. In May, a criminal organization known as the Socho Gold Raiders assumed control of the Socho system, headquarters of Aegis Corps. Since then the system has descended further into chaos, culminating in the loss of services at Dantec Enterprise due to Thargoid sensor-related interference. This in turn led to the temporary immobilization of Aegis's Eagle Eye network, a system of orbital installations designed to determine potential Thargoid attack sites. In the wake of this calamity, Federal President Zachary Hudson has announced that Aegis Corps is to relocate from Socho to the Federal Home System of Seoul. In a statement broadcast directly from the White House on Mars, Hudson said, "Recent events in Socho have taught us that no matter the scale of the Thargoid threat, there will always be those more interested in fighting their fellow man than engaging the enemy. Let me be clear, we are at war. The weakening of our defenses cannot be tolerated. I have therefore agreed that Aegis Corps will relocate to the Seoul system, where it can be properly protected. Aegis has been charged with defending humanity, and any attempt to undermine it is nothing less than an act of treason." New Thargoid interceptor encountered. Independent pilots have reported engaging a previously unseen type of Thargoid vessel. The Pilots Federation confirmed that several of its members have encountered the ship in both the Pleiades Nebula and the core systems. Commander Jingsheng Mendez gave this account. "My wingmate and I were both hyperdicted while traveling through the Pleiades. We assumed that together we could handle a single Thargoid ship, but this one really soaked up our firepower. I managed to get away, but Leone didn't make it. I've already started retooling my crate with the X-weapons. I want to head back out there and get some payback." Admiral Aidan Tanner, Aegis's chief military liaison, made this statement. "We can confirm that this new ship, classified as the Hydra, is a variant of the Thargoid Interceptor. It is structurally stronger than the Cyclops, Basilisk or Medusa, and releases a larger swarm of Thargon drones." In response to this development, the Pilots Federation has sealed off the Cone Sector FNJ B90 system, which is believed to contain high concentrations of Hydra interceptors. Despite this, it is understood that the Gnosis, flagship of the Cannon Interstellar Research Group, will attempt to complete its scheduled jump into the now permit-locked system. The silence of Aisling Duval. The date of Princess Aisling Duval's wedding to Federal Ambassador Jordan Rochester has passed without comment from either party. Entertainment journalist Solomon Helios discussed the situation. Public reaction to the cancelled wedding has ranged from outrage to delight. Jasmina Halsey expressed regret at a lost opportunity for long-term peace, while Senator Zemina Torval called it the mercy killing of a catastrophically bad idea. With no word from the Imperial Palace or the White House, it's easy to imagine both Emperor Marissa and President Hudson breathing sighs of relief. But the silence from Aisling Duval and Jordan Rochester rings loudest. What might they be feeling? Was their relationship terminated against their wishes? Did it ever really exist? Naturally, I invited the princess to tell her story, but her previous openness is apparently a thing of the past. The Rochester family is also shying away from the media. Yal Torrido, whose alleged affair with Aisling apparently derailed the marriage, has vanished from public sight. Was this a tragic love triangle, or just a political chess game? We may never know. But what's certain is that before long, Aisling Duval will put these failures behind her and be back in the spotlight where she belongs. Unusual energy signatures detected. 3 recently detected energy signatures have been confirmed to be of a similar nature. The engineer Antar made a statement to the media. "As part of my research, I regularly review data from surveillance satellites and ships that have picked up atypical signals. Although most turn out to be of no consequence, on this occasion I have identified 3 energy signatures that I believe warrant further investigation. The signals originate from the NGC 2451 A sector, the IC2391 sector, and the Sinuefi NH region. I have no further data, and at this time the signature's meaning remains a mystery. I encourage any independent pilots operating in these regions to investigate. I do of course apologize if this turns out to be a pointless exercise, but in the pursuit of scientific knowledge, even the smallest opportunity must be explored. Engineers established in Colonia. The Colonia Council has announced that 4 engineers have established bases in the Colonia region to provide services to independent pilots. Councillor Giselle Kingspear gave a statement to the media. The Council believes it has a duty to support those who contribute so much to the region's stability. That's why we have consulted with engineers in the core systems to identify individuals who could offer similar services here in Colonia. Consequently, we now have 4 engineers at planetary bases in the region. Mel Brandon is based in Lutane, and specializes in laser-based armaments, shields, engines and frame shift drives. Etienne Dawn in the Lost System, once lead engineer for Kraken Shield Specialists, is an expert on sensors, scanners and high-energy weaponry, among other things. Petra Ulmanova is in the Asura system, and works with ship armor, countermeasures and explosive weapons, and Marsha Hicks, in the Tier system, offers upgrades in ballistic weaponry, fuel scoops, refineries and limpids. These engineers represent an important stage in Colonia's continued growth. The Council hopes that pilots operating in the region will find them beneficial. Starport Status Update. This report presents the latest data on starports experiencing technical issues as a result of Thargoid sensor-related interference. The following starports are currently closed. Crown Plant, Mudra Makasi. Crown Terminal, LHS 355. Fort Lawrence, XOC. Foxbase, Paya. Fraknoi Holdings, Paya. Gautier de Varennes Folly, HIP 13269. Grimwood Ring, HIP 94863. Hague Port, OC. Hengdok, Samantundi. Lichtenberg Dock, 3 Corvi. McLeod Hub, Nornan. McAllister Port, HR 6680. Parmid Anno Terminal, New Turi. Porgus Horizons, G25034.
Orbital flight engaged.
Pre-research base, HIP 17225. Ross Orbital, Ratomir. Sedan Gateway, Monted. Tan Ring, Sokond. Wine Platform, Paya. The following starports continue to experience technical issues. Weibo Dock, Mean. Shaviano Dock, Happers. Thirsk Enterprise, Monted. Meanwhile, the following starports are on the brink of closure. George Lucas, Leasty. Somerset Station, Icarene. Napier Station. HIP 94863. Ready Gateway, Korovi. Abeti Platform, Ross 1051. Week in Review. Here are this week's major stories. The wedding of Princess Aisling Duval and Ambassador Jordan Rochester has been cancelled. The announcement follows anti-slavery campaigner Yoel Toredo's confession that he and Aisling Duval were romantically involved for several months. Meanwhile, Lakon Spaceways has announced that a new ship, the Alliance Crusader, will go on general sale on Tuesday the 28th of August. The ship, which is based on the Alliance Chieftain, boasts 3 internal military compartments and a fighter bay. Rival technology companies Supertech and Herculean Machines have released press statements promoting new personal computer designs. Both companies have also confirmed they will be at the Rackham Ultratech Expo on Wednesday the 3rd of October, where they will reveal fully functional prototypes of their new devices. In other news, the Federal Intelligence Agency has revealed that members of the Fargod cult are disappearing in large numbers. While the FIA has speculated that adherents are abandoning the cult and attempting to return to normal life, there have been no reports of former Fargod worshippers returning to their friends and families. An exposé published by the Mars Tribune has revealed that federal Congressman Morgan Unwin has close ties to a criminal organization. Information uncovered by the Tribune proves that
Landing gear deployed.
Lakon used his influence to traffic drugs for the Red Family Cartel in order to keep his own addiction secret. Recent reports from the Betel system indicate that an ongoing feud between the Silver Creative Network and Betel 3 has escalated into violence. With system security forces stretched thin, both organizations are seizing the opportunity to settle old grudges, and have issued calls for support. Finally, the Colonia Council has announced that its campaign to build a new hydroponics facility has been warmly received by the galactic community. Large quantities of material were delivered to Templar Barracks over the past week, allowing the initiative to move to the construction phase. And those are the main stories this week. Lakon releases Alliance Crusader. Lakon Spaceways has announced that a new ship, the Alliance Crusader, will soon be available for purchase. Mira Kalanak, head of military projects at Lakon, gave some details to the media. The Alliance Crusader is mechanically similar to the Alliance Chieftain, with one key distinction. Our engineers have removed some internal hardware to accommodate a fighter bay. Inevitably, this means the Crusader is marginally slower and less maneuverable than it.
Low gravity warning. Ship dismissed. Handbrake is on. Cargo scoop deployed.